Virgo friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Virgo April 2025 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. I'm calling the theme of this month, Eclipse Aftermath, What Grows Anew, and we're going to talk about what may fill that space that was left empty from whatever happened with the eclipse in your sign in March. And it is possible that those changes from that eclipse may actually still be in process. We can see very big eclipse news come in 4 to 6 or even more weeks after the actual eclipse. So with March being one of the most intense months of the whole year, April will come in a close second. And we'll talk more about that, as well as what you may see fill in that space that was left open from whatever changes have been made. This is for you if Virgo is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Virgo placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And very late degree Virgo friends, so birthdays like September 15th through the rest of the sign, or 23 degree Virgo placements through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Libra reports, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. Okay, so just to put everything in context, we are still talking about the eclipses because eclipse season is still happening. March 14th-ish, we had a lunar eclipse at 23 degrees of Virgo. This is the second eclipse in the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle. That is rocking your world starting at the end of last year. Major changes from now into 2027, and every 6 months when these eclipses happen and rise, the unconscious processes into the present obvious material experience. You are going to see chapters in this storyline. So we're still in this one. Major changes in your life, in your relationships, with your health, with who you are and how you are and what you're bringing into the world. And, it may for many of you really feel like an aftermath, like you've gone through something. But eclipses don't only bring the chance for very challenging things. They also bring the chance for very wonderful things. Things that you've wanted to be leaving, like an addiction or a health problem or, a way of being in life or relationships or a new milestone that you're leaving, behind the old things, or you've reached a culmination of something. So from that aftermath, even if it's something you wanted, it will feel like, wow, you've just been through something. But there are a lot of energies that are coming in to rush to fill that space. I always like to say that law of physics, that energy is not created nor destroyed, it simply changes form. We can see that alive at eclipse time because actually things are removed from your life. But that space doesn't stay open for long. It gets filled in. All right, so let's talk about what may grow anew from the changes that have been made from the universe. These are usually non-negotiable things. Sometimes they're changes you make on your own volition, but usually it's you responding to what the universe is presenting to you, and that's the option that you have. One of the first things that you may notice fills in anew is a new relationship with yourself, a new relationship with your physical body, a new awareness of the God essence that lives within you, and the treating of your physical body as this place of reverence, as you may treat if you went into, a church or some other place that's sacred to you, that your body is that new sacred ground. And this may be one of the things that you see growing. Very, very big chance for that. Some other things that can be filled in here through Ceres, Saturn, transiting North Node, Venus in retrograde until April 12th, Mercury in retrograde until April 7th, all in Pisces, is the energetic of the all that is, whether that comes through psychological understandings, spiritual pursuits, or the fantastical, getting involved with fun fantasy movies or writing projects or, the weaving of worlds, artistic wonder, spiritual pursuits that help you feel more connected to the web of the all that is, including connecting with people who have passed on, and your dream space. All of this is a very dreamy energy, and it is opposing your Virgo placement. So it will be very busy, very active. And you may notice that some of the new space that is open may be filled with these types of things. Art for art's sake, rather than just practicality, quiet time, rather than just productivity and industry. Those are the kinds of things you may be starting to fill in that space. Also, in the new vessel of who you are, who you're becoming, you may see new relationships start to come in. And all of this Pisces energy for Virgo accentuates the relationship space. So new people coming in or new chapters in relationships with people who are already there, new accord, new projects, all of that can build anew, after this eclipse aftermath. Other areas that are lighting up that you may see this energy be filled with is Aries energy, autonomy, individuality, excitement, initiation, fresh newness. We just had the astrological new year begin, 10 days or so before April began. And that energy is really fresh now. We're having the new moon in Aries, which was also the eclipse on March 29th. So again, that eclipse just recently before April, we're still very much in this eclipse season, but something new is coming in. That's a solar eclipse. It's bringing a new way of being for you, a new way of looking at yourself, and possibly a new way of looking at the world. So within the starry connections, there's a massive amount of fire. The sun, Chiron, Eris, Mercury will get there, Venus will get there, and Mars will get into Leo. That's more fire. And for all of the Aries placements, this also lights up for Virgo, your house of Scorpio, which is the 8th house, which is a place of the lesser seen realm, just like the Pisces energy is. So there's a tremendous amount of water, even some hidden water masquerading as fire, so this is a world of feeling. This is a world of emotion. This is a world of connection. And this is a world of quiet inner, pursuits and also collaborations. This component of Scorpio being lit up from the Aries placements for Virgo is very much about these quiet behind the scenes collaborations that are getting ready to burst out and be told. We are in this period of time where the planets are starting to move direct. We've had the tides coming in, as I like to call it, with really since September, we started building that internal, retrograde energy, going inside and backward. And now, piece by piece, all of the cogs in the wheel are starting to shift to turn. February, we had Jupiter go direct. That started it. At the end of February, Mars went direct. That's continuing it. Now in April, Mercury going direct, Venus going direct, and we will open up into a time at the end of the month now where all the planets are going direct, including the outer planets. So, it's going to take a little while into May for Venus and Mercury to regain their full strength. But you are feeling the tides shift very big time. So that internal energy is getting ready to push out. Those things you've been musing, the things you've been considering, you're getting ready to take action on them. And you have all of this Aries energy to actually take the action. And some of those things may be these behind the scenes things getting pushed out. If you have a big launch, May and June have amazing, amazing energy for that. If you have to bring out something that you want to be long term, this month is still a little bit retrograde-y. You might want to really just kind of get things ready for getting ready to push out. But you're not going to have the oomph that you want for something long term until we get into May and June. But if you have a short-term thing, a trial thing, an experiment, something that's intended to be short-term, you still can have a lot of energy here from the Aries and these planets moving forward. And then, of course, Mars will move from Cancer, where it's been for a long time, focusing on home and housing and family since September. We're going to make the permanent shift now away from that storyline that has been so long, much longer than usual. Usually Mars blows through a sign in a couple of months. But this time we've had, what will turn out to be like 8 to 9 months of not being far away from Cancer or being in Cancer. So hopefully by now you'll start to see the things you focused on for home, family, and housing and real estate are really ready to move forward. And as Mars moves into Leo, that's going to add more fuel to the fires of action and activity. I am going to give you the dates for the full moon and the new moon for this month. I'm not going to cover them here because I am doing separate videos on that. So these monthly horoscopes for each sign are a little shorter now because I'm doing weekly reports. Every Sunday I load those on to Spotify and to YouTube so that you can see what's up for the week, Astrology Now. So I'm not going to cover a lot of those things, but I will give you the dates. Okay, so full moon, 23 degrees of Libra on April 12th. That's also the same day that Venus goes direct. Then the new moon is at 7 degrees of Taurus on April 27th. For a little while longer, you've got Jupiter accentuating your work sector, work, career opportunities, your expansion, your business. If you are retired or don't need to make money, this could be your projects out in the world. This can be things having to do with your parents. But Jupiter, direct, making things happen in your work world. If you really need the help of someone in a powerful position to help you with your work, all of this 8th house energy can help you with that. Raises and, sideways lateral movements within your work, or promotions, anything that involves the expansion of your business. If you're trying to expand your business to the next level, you may be getting everything ready to do that now in May or June. You have a lot of oomph towards that. If you're trying on small things and experimenting with the retrograde energy, Jupiter can still help with that. So you've got until June for that energy. Those of you who are later in the signs, so like September born, in the Placidus chart, you'll have Jupiter in your 10th house for longer than June. But, in the whole house chart, you will start to feel the energy of that moving on. April is still a fantastic time to do promos, things that are short term, even if it's for something that's longer term, like a course. Promos are meant to be short term, and that's why they're really good in the retrograde energy. So I'm actually going to be closing out my epic promo where you get $1,500 of free courses and other goodies when you register for my Astrology Mastery Certification course. So go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com, and get $1,500 worth of bonuses. I will be closing this promo out soon, so if you've been interested in this, definitely take advantage of it. And if you have a promo, you can use this April energy to run your promo as well. Now, if you love my content and you resonate with my work and you want to do astrology for your friends and family, or for professionally to earn money, I can teach you how to do that in this course. So go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. If you love my content and you want to get it early and not miss anything, because YouTube does not inform you every time I post, and I am posting, like I said, new moon, full moon, and weekly reports, as well as these monthlies, then go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in, and you'll get all of my content early, and you won't miss anything. Plus, you get all these goodies: Zodiac Health Tips, Retrograde Resource Page, Eclipse Resource Page, 28-day virtual coaching program, my monthly written star report with all my sweet and salty dates. That's a much-loved newsletter. Now, if you have tried to sign up for my email newsletter and you were kicked back, that means that you must have had storage, gone over your storage at some point. I have heard that if you've ever ran out of storage, that will send your email to certain email lists, and you will be blocked from signing up for email lists. All right, so there is a way you can resolve that. If you go to anniehelpsyou.com, click on the About in the top right corner, then click on Contact and email me, and I can walk you through how you can get your email off of that list so that you can sign up for my newsletter list and plus other people's newsletter lists if they're in that same company. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you in the next report really soon. Take care. Bye.